Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Denny Hamlin fan. It is morning for Reliver 97. He lives on the other side of the world. Time zones. I mean, there could be a flip, but I doubt it. Reliver's joining us from around the world. So if you ever see him in the chat, just know he is in a very different time period than we are. I hope the race is close, but it really seems like Connor Zilic is probably going to run away with it if he has a decent car. If you guys haven't already, if you could like the stream, that would certainly help. Certainly help. Once again, just like yesterday, 67 laps. So we may hear about that a bit more. Hill is an outside pick. He has a pretty good average finish on the road courses. Starting in 16th, he's going to have to come up through the field. All right, lights are still on the pace car. The Roval was necessary when it came out, but nowadays, now that the Gen 7 car is running pretty well on the 1.5s, especially at Charlotte, I don't know how necessary it is. With that said, if I was going to go to another road course, I would go to the Roval because you can actually see most of the track. Most other road courses, you see the cars for, a little bit, and then they're gone. Or at least the leaders, they're gone for a minute and a half. They come back by. You don't see them for another minute and a half. Then they come back by. Not the best viewing experience. All right. Vanderbilt got the first down there. That's nice. I mean, it's really hard to bet against Connor Zilic. He got the pole. But you know, anything can happen in these races. Cars just hit pit road. Hopefully they take it green this lap, this time by. Yes, lights are off on the pace car. They're going green this time by. Is like that. I didn't walk off screen. I actually just disappeared into thin air. It's a magic trick. There we go. Vanderbilt touchdown. That's nice. I actually dreamed that I watched the first half before the game even started. And it went pretty similar to this. Vandy already had a touchdown when I tuned in my mind. And Bama didn't score. Vandy got the ball back and didn't score. Alabama got the ball, drove it down the field, and then before they got to the red zone, I woke up. Interesting, Warren. I can't imagine what it's like being from Alabama. I hear good things. All right, through the backstretch chicane. Really, as soon as the race is about to get underway, my signal starts cutting out. Calhoun, all right. I know where you're at. Know exactly where you're at. All right. Green flag. Good to see you, Michael. Allgaier staying even. Really close. I think Zilic is going to get the preferred line here. But he's close. Allgaier is staying very close. Shoves Allgaier up a little wide. Zilic able to clear. Oh, Allgaier slipped up the track a bit. Sammy Smith closing in for third. We have we have five, really six teammates up towards the front. Five JRM cars. And one Hendrick car. Corey Day in the 17, running sixth. That's right, Michael. That's right. Not really near Montgomery. I think Rick and Bubba were from Calhoun County. Yes, that is right, Michael. That is right. No, that's more like near Jacksonville. Yeah, Corey Day, damage on the right side. Pretty messed up looking car right now. That is just awful for Corey Day. Running up here towards the top 5, and his car is just busted. Right front maybe a little damage, but the right rear has a ton of damage. It's not closer to... No, I know where it is. When we go to Talladega, we drive through Calhoun County. Golly. That his Corey Day's right rear is pretty damaged. Oh, I thought he said Calhoun County. Calhoun, oh yeah, just Calhoun, Alabama. Okay. I don't know where that is. I know it's hot down there. It's like you get south of Birmingham and it gets really hot. Oh, so yeah, if it's county, then yes, I know exactly where you're at. That is so unfortunate for Corey Day. Maybe they can get that thing repaired. It's a long way to go to the end of the stage. They may need to, I don't know, like if they can stay out a few more laps, maybe come in halfway through the stage. And I don't know. This is a hard situation for him. You're not a big fan of the state or the football team? All right, we're under commercial. Corey Day falling through the field. Connor Zilch still leads. He has a 2.5 advantage over Justin Allgaier. About another 2.5 back, we have Sammy Smith. Connor Mozak right behind Sammy Smith. Jesse Love a second back over a second back. So running order is quickly establishing itself. We're running 87 second, really 88 second lap times. And Daniel Dye is already 65 seconds behind. So we probably will have some cars go a lap down here. Especially, I mean, we're just in the beginning of this race. My lap counter is struggling today. It's a little behind. Doodlebug says the ARCA race from Toledo is on. That's unfortunate for ARCA. Go head to head with college football and the Xfinity race. They're advertising the under this commercial break, they're advertising the Epic Universe, I think. And someone died there on one of the new roller coasters. It's just Universal Studios in general. I don't know if you guys heard about that. And it wasn't like a medical issue either. Like, there's definitely a problem with the ride. Village just smooth driving right now. Not really anything crazy. I mean, Corey Day receiving some damage. That's kind of the craziest thing we've seen so far. Not like the start of the truck race. All right. The Vandy, Alabama game going into half 14-14. I'm not sure. I didn't see the kickoff. I did in my dream. Women's volleyball, it's not really the most like broadcasted sport here. Yeah, if baseball, basketball, football, or NASCAR is on, volleyball is not going to be covered on live TV. Yeah, volleyball is televised on occasion, especially like during dead parts of the sports season, and you can also find it on the ESPN app. But yeah, sometimes you'll see it on like ESPN2 or ESPN News or something, one of the other smaller ESPN channels. Men's tennis. UCLA has a 27-7 halftime lead over 7th-ranked Penn State. This is your reminder, ladies and gents, if you are a member of the NASCAR Fan Rewards program, now is your time to check in to get your 50 free points. I just checked in myself. I understand the appeal, Reliver. I definitely understand the appeal. You'd rather watch the 2024 Ally 400 overtime but looped, repeated? It pretty much was looped and repeated. I was there for that. That race would not end. Corey Day back to 16th. Daniel Dye 71 seconds back. Philip Lindemann said racing, NFL, golf, NHL. Mostly you can keep the rest. It's not bad. Yeah, racing in general and football are my main focuses, but I loosely keep up with basketball, baseball, and hockey. Especially hockey, baseball, and basketball. They play so many games. It's just hard to keep up throughout the whole season. Unless your team is like really competitive. I think the Suns won last night though. That was cool. But the Red Sox, they got eliminated in the wild card series with the Yankees. Disappointing. You do play NHL, NFL, NBA 2K, and Japanese baseball. Yeah, the games are fun. The video games of sports, it's a good way to bring in fans. Phillies is your favorite team? Would I rather race in the Cars Tour or ARCA? ARCA's more of a direct path to, yeah, the Philadelphia Flyers. Oren says Nashville's his favorite NHL team. The Predators. Yes, I hope it does end under the lights. I don't know if we'll make it. Sunset's at 7:03 in Charlotte. So right now it's 5:30. So it's an hour and a half until sunset. So it may not get fully dark, but we may hit sunset. I'm not even watching the game. I saw the start of it because it came on after the Michigan game, I believe. That's what I was watching earlier. Yes, Roval with rain. That's definitely crazy. Toledo or Hickory? I've probably seen more racing at Hickory. All right, under commercial again. Zillich is almost out to a 7-second lead on the field. Crazy stuff. Corey Day down to 18. Still on track with all that damage. Now Zilich is out to a 7-second advantage. The road course is throwing off my leaderboard. That data comes through a lot slower. Corey Day into the outside wall. Brennan Poole kind of put him in the wall there. So Corey Day once again receiving some damage. Dropping some positions there. That's tough. Started just outside the top 5. And, you know, just didn't have a good start to the race. Yeah, really, you know, that sucks. But, you know, it is his first year, and this is only a part-time year for him. He's still young, a lot to learn, that's for sure. It just sucks when somebody has a great qualifying effort and then comes out and ruins it that early in the race. Maybe they can get it somewhat fixed under caution. Although he would probably lose a ton of track position. Say Harrison Burton has issues. So fuel pressure issues for Harrison Burton. One of our playoff drivers down here in 29th currently. Not great. Our lowest running playoff driver currently. Yeah, CW always advertising News Nation. That's right. If this race went green without stages, Zilich might lap most of the field. Good to see you, Tiberium Media Entertainment. Good to see you, Ivan. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. All right. Jesse Love and Carson Quaffle kind of duking it out here. Carson Quaffle not able to complete the pass there. Harrison Burton slow on track. Probably that fuel pressure issue. Electrical issues are so hard to diagnose in a car, and more so, you know, in a race car. So probably what this is. Oh, he's pulling off the track. Not able to make it. I think this is going to bring out a caution. The car has stopped right off the racing surface. He's trying to get it refired, it looks like. Well, this would completely eliminate the strategy from this first stage. I mean, you probably pit here. All right, caution's out. We're going to come to 5 to go. And that groups up the field, so that eliminates Connor Zilich's cushion there. Yeah, that took quite a while to throw that caution. I guess they were trying to see if he would get it refired, and he did not. That's right. That's right. "2024 Brickyard 400 call again." Yeah, NASCAR race control, they're not the most consistent. That's for sure. All right, under commercial once more. Once we come back from commercial, they should start their pit stops here under caution. Probably see most of the leaders come in, and maybe guys like, well, really Brandon Jones. I think he's the only one. Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, Nick Sanchez, they might stay out. Denny Hamlin fan says they're making Tyson buffalo wings in the air fryer. That should be good. I'm not a buffalo wings guy myself, but I know a lot of people enjoy them. At least once a day, I pour liquid all over my face. No, just straight up, I'm drinking something and I pour it all over myself. Yeah, I need your prayers. Good to see you, Jared. Without that caution, we would be coming to the end of stage 1 right now, but we just had a caution for Harrison Burton stopping on track, or right off the track, actually. Pretty decent day so far. Seen a little football, a tiny bit of baseball. And now we're here. It'd be interesting to see if they can get his car back out on track. They're gonna have to push it back or tow it back. But, you know, it seemingly being some kind of electrical issue, I don't know if they're gonna have much success. You gotta come in, unless you're Connor Zillage. Connor Zillage, I mean, he could risk staying out. There's no reason for him to. But he could probably drive back through the field. He was striping them on that first run. I have not played the new skate game. I know it's free to play. I'm not sure where the confusion is, Hamlin fan. No one's taking wings in the shower. That I know of. All right, Connor Zillage not going to get off pit road first. Allgaier. Zillage down to second. Sammy Smith up 1 spot. Jesse Love up 1 spot. Interesting. So yes, just like we said, Nick Sanchez staying out on track. It's kind of what we predicted there. Oh my goodness. Connor Zilic may be coming back down pit road. So he's possibly about to lose his track position. So now he pit for nothing. You know, he could have at least gotten stage points. Now he's not going to get a single thing if he comes back down pit road. All right, they may be staying out. They're lined up right now. Doesn't seem like he's coming back in. Yes, Red Bull gives you that. I'm drinking Monster, but yes. King is dead. He's a Red Bull guy. Why? Was there actual confusion? People thought Red Bull would make you fly? If this was the Winston Cup points, Connor Zilic can lock in... No, not Connor. I think it's Corey Heim. Maybe. Can lock himself in to win the championship at Talladega if he finishes, I think, 29th or better. If it was the Winston Cup points. Connor... I'm not sure what his situation is. You know, he's missed so many races. That's crazy. Man, that could have been me. All right, let's watch Connor Zilic's left front, see if it comes off here. All right, here we go. Our leaderboard is struggling right now. Stupid road courses. There we go. Nick Sanchez to the lead. Jeb Burton in second. Connor Zilic up to third currently. Zilic might still win this stage. All right, move Zilic to second. Zilic is probably going to win this stage. Four wide on the exit of the oval. That is wild. It's a melee back there. That's right. Second half has kicked off. It's a good call out, Warren. Zilic back to the lead. That is crazy. They almost brought this man back down pit road. And now he's about to win the stage. Sam Mayer falling off. He may have a tire down. They're saying he missed the chicane on the backstretch. Looks like he had a tire going down there. Yeah, four wide on the Roval. That's insane. Don't see that often. They went 4 wide on the exit of the infield portion there. Last lap. All right, Sam Mayer's kind of stopping there. Having to give up track position because he missed the chicane. Really pulled right in front of the 87. What is he doing? Almost took out Austin Green. Third down for Vanderbilt. Sammy Smith and Carson Quaffle getting around Nick Sanchez. I could see it. I could see it. You could pass for a Willis. All right, 4th and 4 for Vanderbilt. That might be a death blow for Vanderbilt not scoring there. This would be a game of what if. Vanderbilt should probably be up 2 scores right now. If it wasn't for the fumble earlier in the game. We're 4 wide again. 4 wide for the second time. If I could rename you on my channel, I would name you Willis Smith. I do that. I just rename people. You can ask King is dead about that. He has a name that is not his, but I still have him in my phone as this name. ARCA race is going to end earlier than the Xfinity race. Yeah, I'm not ready to call it the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. That's a mouthful. I did a lot of squats last night, trying to get my knees and legs back in decent condition, and I'm not sore yet. It always takes like a full day for the soreness to kick in, at least. Sometimes maybe a day and a half, 2 days. But I mean, maybe a little bit, but not much going on. Alabama getting a huge pass there. Moving towards the red zone now. Well, that may be it for Vandy. We'll see if they can come back from this. Yeah, Denny Hamlin is still racing and still winning. He could have won last week. He finished second last week. He took his own driver out to try to win the race. It did not work. 2nd and 5 for Alabama. Connor Zilch out to a 2.5 advantage. This should be the last stage or the last lap of stage 1. So you're probably looking at our top 10 here. Let's see where Corey Day is. What happened to him? Corey Day, 35th, 50 seconds back. Interesting. They should probably, I mean, since he's already at the end of the field, you know, the rear of the field, they should probably bring him back in to try to fix that car up a bit more before they send him back out. He can probably still finish mid-pack, at least, if they can get that car somewhat repaired. All right, good play there. It's going to be 4th down. Looks like Vanderbilt's going to hold Alabama to a field goal attempt. And it's not a long field goal, so Bama should make this one, but they did miss one earlier in the game. Oh my goodness. I just got an update from ESPN. Oklahoma wide receiver Keontez Lewis hits head-on brick wall behind end zone, exits game on cart. That's crazy. We're going to look this up. We don't have any highlights for our race yet. We don't have any highlights, so we're going to look this up. That sounds terrible. I don't understand how they build some of these stadiums. You know, they're with brick walls right at the end of the end zone. It seems super dangerous. Oh my goodness. Oh my, I don't even want to show that. I'm not going to show that. Oh my goodness. Ow. I mean, his shoulder takes a little bit of the hit, but I mean, that is pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Just look it up on Twitter. Keontez Lewis. I'm not going to show that. Yeah, I mean, it's not like too bad. But like, it's a really hard hit. Now, I'll play it one time. Okay? Then we're not going to look at it anymore. So, feast your eyes on the screen. I'll deliver, okay? I will deliver here. You guys want to see it? You guys asked for this. I will play it one time only. Just a ridiculously hard hit there. His shoulder took a little bit of the impact, but yeah, I didn't want to show it. I don't like seeing people get hurt that bad. That was a really, yeah, why would you put bricks there? I understand, like, that's the edge of, I guess, the stands, but I mean, maybe you put some padding up? At least in Georgia, they have those stupid hedges. But I mean, you need some runoff area. That's a very, like, common thing for guys to catch a ball in the back of the end zone and to have to run out of bounds. And just to have a wall there is super dangerous. Hope he's all right. Yeah, I hope he's okay. That's crazy. It was crazy enough for ESPN to send me a notification about it. I don't follow Oklahoma. So this is one of the 4 wide moments here. So this is the second time they went 4 wide. 4 wide on the Roval. Just nuts. don't have the first one, sadly. Max Reeves won the ARCA race. Interesting. Hot sauces are usually garbage. It takes some sriracha. Yeah, it depends on the sauce for me. I don't like an overly vinegar-based hot sauce. I don't like the taste of vinegar. Do you like the Avatar movies? I've never seen one start to finish. From what I've seen of the first Avatar movie, I was rooting for the humans because, you know, I'm a human, and I like the military, and so I wanted them to win. I never understood the hype of Avatar. I have no clue why. Like, I don't know why it got so much hype. Like, I just didn't feel like it was a groundbreaking thing. I mean, the CG, I guess, is decent, and I had crazy visuals for the time, but, like, is it really like the best story? Cameron's best work? Cameron's best work? Terminator. Terminator 2. That's all I need to say. Terminator and Terminator 2. You're telling me that's his best work? Titanic. You're telling me Avatar and Avatar The Way of the Water? I haven't heard anyone talk about this movie at all. I didn't even know a third one was coming out this year. Jordan Kirby said, who had NXT superstars at a NASCAR race? They've been out a few times. Look at this. Terminator. Terminator 2, and he's telling me Avatar's his best work? No. No. Titanic. This man visited the actual Titanic in a submarine. But the movie about some blue aliens is fantastic, I guess. I'm not an Avatar guy. And I don't like them. They fought the military, so, you know. They had some kind of resource or something under the big tree, and we wanted it, and they wouldn't let us have it. It's their fault. Megamind is fantastic. It's a shame the spin-off series sucked. Was it oil? I'm pretty sure it was some kind of, like, you know, made up element. Again, I've never seen the full thing, so I'm just going off of what little I remember. Shrek 2, that certainly is a movie. You have leftover soft tacos? It sounds decent. Okay, yeah. Alaska has a ton of oil. We just don't drill for it. It's a lot of protected land. Canada has a ton of oil. And there's a ton of oil off the coast of Venezuela. All right, back to green flag. Stage 2 racing. Jesse Love on his inside, not able to stay alongside him into turn 1. Zillage will clear. Allgaier back to fourth. Looks like Sammy Smith just moved into third. So our top 7 are all playoff drivers. Then we have Sam Mayer in 11th. Taylor Gray in 16th. Brandon Jones in 17th. And Nick Sanchez back in 28th. And Corey Day is in 26th. We'll see if they, repair that car at all. Yeah, Venezuela. They discovered a huge, like a ginormous oil deposit off the coast of Venezuela. And, yeah, there's a lot going on there. Because, obviously American companies want to go in and get that oil. So it's very hot politically. Yeah, yeah, oil, it's the money thing for sure. I don't know how much, like, if electric vehicles ever surpass gasoline vehicles in terms of adoption and function, that, I don't know, maybe that'll hurt the market a little bit, but in our lifetimes, the oil's not going to run out. That's not something we have to worry about. And, I don't know. Some people believe oil replenishes faster than we've been led on to believe. So, I don't know. Because, like, the way the Saudis are spending money right now, buying up all these sports leagues, buying up rights to everything, it would, lead you to believe they think they're going to have oil forever. Just unlimited money. Oil is a renewable energy source. If you give it long enough, yeah. Maybe. They're telling me that all this oil is made up of dinosaurs. I'm not buying it. That would be a lot of dinosaurs. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to get uh-oh, 45 stopped. On the infield portion. There we go. Third caution of the day. We're only 7 laps into stage 2, so it's probably not a good time to pit here. But if you wanted to, I don't know if you can make it to the end, but if you wanted to gamble, this may be when you try to pit. Anastasia. I was thinking Prince of Egypt or Treasure Planet. One of the 2D animated movies. That's right. Vanderbilt touchdown, baby. Vanderbilt, they're the best team in the SEC. They're the GOATs. The GOAT. Oh, I got the soundboard actually.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
I couldn't tell you the first thing about that movie. Thank you so much, Ward. All right, back on the commercial. They're reviewing the touchdown here in the Vanderbilt-Alabama game. Austin Hill up to 5th. He started, I believe, 16th, so he's moving up through the field. Almirola in 8th. Did Corey Day come back down pit road? Yeah, I think Corey Day may have hit pit road, scoring him in 34th. He was up towards like 26th. So keep an eye on Corey Day. Maybe they can get some more repairs done. Not really a lot to lose right now. Try to harvest a good day. I love this playoff commercial because it's a commercial to explain how the playoffs work. Like, that's kind of silly that we even have to explain it. Hopefully that doesn't exist next year. All right. Well, I am out. It's all downhill from here. Fumble overturned. Disappointing. Alabama getting bailed out again. All right, Vandy needs to stop them here, but I feel like Bama's about to break a big one. Yeah, they picked up half the yardage they need there. Yeah, I'm fully rooting for Vanderbilt. Some good doctors up there. I also would be interested in seeing Alabama suffer. 3rd and 6. Vandy's been giving up about that many yards per play at least. Yeah, I've watched Point Break twice, and both times I didn't get it. Well, there we go. First down for Alabama. I thought they'd get it. Kind of disappointed, but it is what it is. And maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. I don't know. I just know one time I watched it during a date, and after the movie ended, I apologized. It's like, I'm so sorry. That sucked. But I feel like that's a me problem. I feel like that one is definitely... So, like, I'm going to try it again one day. The reason I want to like it is because it's the movie they reference in Hot Fuzz. And they're like, oh, yeah, Point Break. It's so awesome. Yes, Vanderbilt, you know, they have had a pretty decent baseball team in the past, but their football program is getting better. You know, traditionally they've been the worst team in the SEC, but they're better the last couple seasons. Last year they beat Alabama. It was awesome. They remade Point Break? That I don't know about that. That's crazy. Not every movie needs to be remade. Just re-release it. If you want to make more money off of the movie, just re-release it. Today, if I wanted to, I could go see Spider-Man 2 in theaters. And then tomorrow they're showing Spider-Man 3. Remake an okay movie. Yeah, I mean, if the movie like had a good idea to it, I think that's a good idea, Philip. If it was just an okay movie, go ahead and remake it. Maybe you can actually make it decent. Like Avatar. Avatar's just space Vietnam or something like that. All right, another field goal for Alabama. Is setting up perfectly for Vanderbilt. Everything is proceeding as planned. Perfect. That is very specific, Doodlebug. I'm not going to engage in this. Very specific. Yeah, that's... that is extremely specific. Have I seen the Matrix movies? Yes, I've seen all of them. I watched those back during, I guess maybe not during the peak of COVID. Probably would have been like late 2021, so right after COVID. But you got to think, for the time, it was pretty awesome. You know, if you watch a movie today, through today's outlook, a lot of old movies are going to suck. You have to look at it as, if I lived in, you know, 2000, 2001, and I walked into the theater and saw this movie, what would my reaction have been? Uh-oh. Carson Quaffle has a tire rub right front. Zillage back out to the lead. Jesse Love second. No one has anything for Connor Zillage right now. It is getting darker. Looks like this race is probably going to finish under the lights. 6:13 there now. Sunset is in 50 minutes. I think the sun sets at 7:03. Tiberia Media Entertainment said Treasure Planet had several games by Ubisoft. Or I guess Ubisoft is how they pronounce it. Corey Day back up to 29th. So he's gained 2 positions since the last update. If they play their cards right, I think they can salvage a top 20. Remember, this is the Xfinity series. It can be a normal race. And sometime in the second stage or third stage, just everything could go wrong. So it might get wild. What's my favorite author from a book series? The series I used to read when I was a kid that actually had 3 authors, but they used a pen name. I liked their work. But I mostly nowadays read nonfiction. So that's not like a series. That's, you know, maybe books on history, autobiographies, or biographies. That's what I find to be interesting. Stephen King, he is quite the character. There's a scene in one of his books / movies that's highly questionable. Why? Why was that necessary? All right, we'll see you, Reliver. Have a good one, man. It was nice having you in the chat. Whew, Daniel Dye's car is messed up. Running 29th currently. Corey Day 28th as they run. 7 laps to go in stage 2 currently. Connor Zilch with a 4-second advantage. Austin Hill back to 5th. Justin Allgaier has just gotten around Austin Hill. Or it seems like they're dicing it up, so Hill's actually going to take 4th place. Maybe Allgaier can battle back here, but Hill has a really good average finish on the road courses. Someone here said Hill might win the race. Forget who that was. Was that you, Warren? Dude, I thought you might be referencing that when you said the and land. I thought you might be talking about that. My oldest sister loved that movie. Or those movies, I guess. Was it you that said Hill might win? Somebody said Austin Hill might win. Have you seen what they've been doing with the... Yeah, I've seen that. Blood and Honey. And I think maybe they did one with Steamboat Willie as well. No one is currently saying Hill's going to win. Someone just mentioned it at the start of the stream that Hill could win. Looking at the scoreboard, we know Zillage, unless something goes wrong, is probably going to win this race. Because no one can match him on speed. But with the way these Xfinity races go, bad strategy, pit road issues, that could all, change the outcome. Ryan Priest fan said, Connor might win. Who knows? Maybe Hill wins at 4:06 p.m. And Wayne Martin said, let's go Hill. Tell me I dreamed it. Tell me I dreamed it. I have the receipts. I need to get different friends. You and Deaver just exist to rage bait me. How would I rank the streaming services? Netflix is very easy to use. Their library is not the strongest all the time. They lose movies constantly. They, add some stuff. But it's up there. So is Prime. I like Prime stuff. HBO Max would probably be like a solid third around there. Tubi for a free service. Tubi's not terrible. I think back when Peacock offered WWE premium live events, it was a higher ranking. Now that they've lost that, Peacock has dropped through the floor. Peacock's honestly not worth having unless you're just using it to watch IMSA. Nah, Crunchyroll is a -5. Yeah, World War II in color. That's a good one, Doodlebug. That's a good one. Yes, that's right. That's right, Warren. That was one of the reasons I used Peacock as well, was for IndyCar. I'll probably end up canceling my Peacock except for when IMSA has a big event, like a 24-hour race. Well, that sucks. Vanderbilt had a good run. They could have, this is one of those games where if somebody sneezed in the pregame locker room, that, just the smallest effect could have changed the winner, I think. If Vanderbilt had not fumbled in that first drive and just taken the field goal, it puts them in a much better position. If they're able to get that first down and then the touchdown, they're in a great position. Double A, good to see you, man. You watch Peacock for the horror movies? Interesting. I enjoy horror movies more now than I used to. But my wife, she won't watch them. So, disappointing. Exactly, King. Whoa! I think Nick Sanchez just drove off with a jack still on his car. Who was that? It looks like fluid coming off of the 9 car. Is that just fuel? Excess fuel, maybe? Double A says, how's the race been? Yeah, I think it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. Not the most competitive at the lead, but back through the pack, they're really fighting it out. All right, Connor Zilic making his stop. Going to flip the stage. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to beat Connor Zilic. You might as well just pit. Or not pit. You might as well stay out and get the stage points. That's what I mean to say. Even after pitting, Connor Zilic just scored in the top 10. Right now, he's 10th, which is insane. Disney Plus, really, when you get done watching the content you want to watch, there's a specific show, Mandalorian or whatever, or maybe a Marvel show. Once you watch that, you can kind of just cancel it. Unless you have a kid. If you have a kid, Disney Plus is probably fantastic. What happened to Harrison? Harrison Burton had a fuel pressure issue. He had it before qualifying. They tried to fix it by replacing, I think, the pump and the regulator. I think that's what they said in the broadcast. And then in the first stage, he lost fuel pressure. Yeah, it was Nick Sanchez that drugged the jack out of his pit box. But yeah, he lost fuel pressure, parked it on the side of the track, brought out a caution, and let's see what he's doing right now. Down 5 laps. So it looks like they were able to get it fixed, but yeah, not great for Harrison Burton. All right, Jesse Love coming back out onto the oval portion of the track. 2 chicanes, and he will take the stage 2 victory. These guys didn't even try to flip the stage this time around because they know they're not beating Zilic. I guess Allgaier did, but not many other competitive cars did. So a lot of our playoff guys were just like, we're not beating Zilic today. Let's take playoff points, which is smart. You're still banned for a week? You posted something in the Discord server. Oh yeah, I haven't checked Discord in a while. I'll pull it open. Oh yeah, all 14 films. The complete collection. How about that? Yeah. My oldest sister loved those movies. List of streaming media services. Yeah, all 14 Land Before Time films. They're showing for on ESPN they're showing, or I guess on ABC maybe, they're showing a Burger King commercial for their Halloween themed meal. I tried to get their little Frankenstein sundae, whatever it's called, Frankenberry sundae or something. And they said, though, our ice cream machine is broken. That machine at that location has been broken for at least a year. Very annoying. I don't think they're actually going to fix it. They just don't want to make ice cream. Not during the race. Even though we don't really have much else to do. Let's see if there's been any updates to the Xfinity racing page. So check this out, guys. Points earned after stage 1 at the Roval. Brandon Jones locked in. Connor Zilic locked in. Justin Allgaier locked in. All locked in the next round. Sam Mayer plus 39, Taylor Gray plus 12, Carson Quaffle plus 11, Sheldon Creed plus 10, Jesse Love plus 10. So cut line, Sanchez, Hill, Sammy Smith, and Harrison Burton all below the cut line. They can still point their way in, but they're going to need a really good week. Wait, can they point their way in? What race is this? I don't know what race this is in terms of the cut line. Uh-oh. I know someone knows. The differences between the playoffs from the trucks, Xfinity, and Cup messes me up so bad. It's the cutoff race? Okay, yeah. Well, unless these guys win, looks like they're in a lot of trouble. Let's see if this guy has an update. He doesn't have one yet. It looks like it's coming, so he'll probably be posting his points maybe here soon. See if the NASCAR page has it. Come on. Show me the playoff standings. All right, assuming this is live. Assuming this is up to date, and I think it may be. Carson Quaffle, 9 points above the cut line. Sheldon Creed, 10 points above the cut line. Austin Hill, only 1 point above the cut line. And Sammy Smith, 1 point below. Sammy Smith has had, I think, the faster car throughout the beginning of the race. But Austin Hill's car has been coming on throughout the race. So that'll be a really tight battle between these two. And Harrison Burton, 43 points below. I mean, I don't think he's going to come back and win either. Or Nick Sanchez, so Taylor Gray maybe has an outside shot to improve, but I think it's just between these maybe 3 drivers. Keep your eye on that cut line as we go through this race. All right, here we go. That's so this is what Joseph says. This is his tweet after stage 2. Taylor Gray is in. Austin Hill below, 5 below, and Sammy Smith 9 below. So different than what NASCAR is reporting. They may not have theirs updated yet though. We'll give them another shot to update it. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to trust this guy over what NASCAR has. So Austin Hill 5 below. Taylor Gray has currently gotten above the cut line. Earning 0 stage points, though. That's crazy. That might be accurate. It may not be. We'll see. Yeah, this is the cutoff. That's right. All right, coming down pit road. Let's take a look at our chat. What have you guys been saying? Warren Smith says they're pretty sure there's a track on the moon on NASCAR Racing 2003. And Double A said this is why we need something consistent across all the series. I agree. Take us 91 million years for us to get out of the galaxy. That's why we need a warp drive. Daily reminder. That's right. All right, Jesse Love getting off pit road first. Austin Hill moving up 1 position. Sammy Smith moving down a position. It's close. It's close. Well, he's not going to be leading, the race. He'll still have to get around his teammate, which we know he has no issue wrecking his teammates. But also, Connor Zilic stayed out, and I think a few other cars did as well. So I'm not sure how far back they're going to start. Or restart, I should say. It'll take a minute for our leaderboard to update. Double A said Florida's beating Texas. Arch a bust. Might be. Might be. I think we can approach light speed with the right technology, but I mean, light moves so fast. I don't know. It would take some kind of a warp drive to even get close. And right now, to operate a warp drive, it would require more energy than we've ever produced in history. A black hole. I think you added an extra W there. I don't know if you guys have heard much about it. You know, there's stationary black holes, you know, where stars have collapsed in on themselves. But there's also rogue black holes. They just fly around because they've been flung from whatever system they were in. And so at any moment, a rogue black hole could just fly into our solar system and just eat everything. There's always a chance. You're banking on it? I don't think it'll happen. We've made it this far. Bugshot Blues said they pulled on the left rear quarter panel of the 00, but it was the left front that was rubbing. I mean, maybe they just had some damage there from earlier and they wanted to fix it as well. But Buckshot, yeah, there's a chance they're just cheating. You know, used to when we had the steel bodies, sometimes the guys would intentionally try to damage their car to get extra downforce. Can't blame them. If, like, in racing, if you're not cheating, you are not trying to win. You have to cheat. I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, teams finding an advantage, it's finding a way to bend the rules to get the car to do something it's not designed to do. Where is the 00 restarting? Sheldon Creed, 23rd scored currently. I'm not sure that's where he is. I've heard the Dale Jr. download. These guys coming on the show and talking about all the cheating they did. Yes, I love it. I love hearing about it. Guys bleeding tires, guys soaking tires, going with different shocks that weren't necessarily legal at the time. All the different stuff. Stacking decals, like 10 decals thick to change the aero advantage over their car. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff these guys have done. I think one of my favorite stories from the Dale Jr. download was him talking about, I forget what race it was. It might have been a Busch race, but it was so hot out on track and they hadn't insulated the oil box, so just all that heat was coming into the car, and Junior intentionally wrecked himself so he could get out of the car. He saw a wreck happening in front of him. He just didn't hit the brakes. He drove right into it. Whoa! Dean Thompson missing the chicane there. Double A said GG's race is over. Yeah, if we don't get a caution here, I mean, we could always get one at any point, but this restart's our best shot at getting a caution. That could shake things up. We're 3 wide into the front stretch chicane. Woo-hoo-hoo. We make it through clean. They solved it between themselves. It's not over, a dog that likes Cowboys. That's right. It's not over, but it is, you know, if it runs clean, then yes, it is over. Connor Zilch is too good, too fast. Alabama's about to score here, it looks like. This will pretty much put the game out of reach for Vanderbilt with how the clock runs nowadays. Yeah, 4 minutes late, it's over. Vandy had a shot at it. All right, 4th and 4. Not able to get it. Looks like they'll probably bring on the field goal unit. Put this game out of reach. As they run, Carson Quaffless 5 points above the cut line. Hill 5 below. Sammy Smith 11 below. And Penn State's, yeah, UCLA had a big lead going into half. I haven't seen the score lately. And Corey Day's car is destroyed. He's in 12th. Moving up, too. He's gotten around the 18, so he's going to move into 11th. Good recovery for Corey Day. What a day. What a day for Day. No LSU game this weekend. Tiberium says CW will show Days of Thunder tomorrow. That's great. That's a great movie. Really cool because a lot of the scenes, I think most of the racing scenes were filmed during actual Winston Cup races. There's a few at the, I think towards the very end of the movie that were staged and just done as reshoots, but And then, you know, the crash is obviously staged. But pretty exciting stuff. Tom Cruise has so many movies coming out. I don't know if we'll ever see, not ever, I don't know if we'll see Days of Thunder 2 in this decade. It may be at least 2030 to 2035 by the time we see Days of Thunder 2, to be honest. Because he has, I think he said he has 10 years of movies planned out. And they're planning on doing another Top Gun. They're going to do Edge of Tomorrow 2. He allegedly has a movie, Corey Day Around. Wow, we were just talking about his good recovery. And Corey Day has spun the car out. What a sad time. It's part of the learning process. Corey Day's got to be better than that. Carson Quaffle benefiting from this. Adolphx Club says he's going to the Roval tomorrow. That should be fun. I wish it was a night race. It'd be sick. The Roval has lights now. They've lit the infield, so I don't understand why the truck race last night wasn't, or yesterday wasn't a night race. Why? Why 3:30? 3:30 Central. I guess it was, or no, was it 3:30 Eastern? 2:30 Central? Yeah, I think it was, maybe. But yeah, it was really early. It's during the workday. Two years we get Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I've heard that Jim Carrey probably won't be in this one, which is disappointing. Seemed like I had a ton of fun in the villain role. All right, under commercial again. 18 to go. You want to see the Dogman movie? Yeah, I don't know if that one's on my list. Connor Zillich with a 3-second advantage over Justin Allgaier. I'm not really a big Sonic guy. I've played a couple of the games, but I'm just not really, you know, a huge Sonic fan. Yeah, Shadow's edgy. Austin Hill thinks he's going to point his way in. It's a long way to go. Yes, his tone and demeanor matches Shadow pretty well, I guess. Uh-oh. Austin Hill reporting a possible issue. They haven't said what it is yet. Oh my goodness. Playoff implications. I have no clue what that is. I've heard of it. I don't think I've had that. The only pesto thing I've had is the chicken pesto pasta from the MREs. It was very oily. If you remember that, it had that like kind of a residue leave in your mouth. The Doglegs Cowboy says he may be able to play NASCAR 25 after school in a few weeks. That should be fun. You like pesto normally, but this way is good. Papa John's has a 4-pack of different garlic sauces now. One of them is a pesto garlic sauce. So as of right now, Austin Hill is 3 points below the cut line. Having some kind of a power issue on the car. They've got to be extremely nervous. It seems like it's still going pretty fast. Do I go to Italian restaurants? I do. I do. I have a favorite one. I don't really get anything crazy though. I've tried different things. I've tried getting lasagna when I go out. I once got a bowl of lasagna that was literally just like melted cheese. That's all it was. It was like melted cheese. It's not Olive Garden. I haven't been to Olive Garden in years. Nana's. Bailey Cove Road. I wouldn't mind going to Olive Garden just to try it out again. Because it's probably been at least 15 years at least since I've been to an Olive Garden, maybe more. I don't remember the last time I was at one. Yeah, I feel like Olive Garden and Red Lobster kind of followed the same trajectory. They were really popular around the start of the century, especially in the 90s. And then as we moved into the 2000s, they kind of fell out of favor. Yeah, I went there once to Nana's, like right after they opened, like in the morning, like really early. And wasn't busy. I was able to sit right down and eat. It was great. But what I went maybe about a month ago now. And this was during like peak dinner time. Couldn't even get in the door. Well, I had to go to Italy. I've been right there. I guess I may have even like crossed over just a little bit. We were right against the border where we were. I think our train may have taken us through Italy for a second, but I haven't actually visited Italy. I've been right there though. The biggest reason I would want to visit Italy is to see Rome. All the historic stuff. And then I had a trip planned out in 2018. Or no, 2019, I think. To fly into Italy. And I was going to take a train through Europe. Like up into Switzerland. Then over like into Germany. Down through France. And then I was going to end the trip in the UK. And fly back from London. But even though I had the vacation time, my company would not let me off of work for the 2 weeks that I wanted. And they're like, but you can do it next year. You can go ahead and put in your dates for next year. You can do it. Well, if you guys know anything about what happened in 2020, it's safe to say, you know, that trip didn't happen. So... But I did go over there last August. Not quite the same trip that I was going to do, but it was still a good one. I don't know if you guys have heard the news about Mark Sanchez, but golly, dude had a crash out last night, a real crash out. That's what they were kind of hinting at. Maybe it was a spark plug deal. I don't know if they know what the issue is. Mark Sanchez, he was a quarterback for USC. He was pretty popular there. He was drafted highly, went to the Jets, had decent success there. Probably the best Jets quarterback of this century. And had the butt fumble. That's the thing he's most famous for, is the butt fumble. He was a commentator with Fox. He got stabbed in Indianapolis, and people are like, oh, that's so bad. Indy's getting dangerous. And it is. Downtown Indianapolis is a shooting or a stabbing like every night. But especially around Circle Central Mall. And it's a shame because I really like Indy. But anyway. Apparently, from what the police reports are, he started a bar fight and the guy was defending himself and stabbed Mark Sanchez. And so not only is Mark Sanchez going to jail, or at least, you know, detained temporarily, he may get off, you know, after the court cases and all that with like probation or something. But not only did he get arrested, you know, he also had to go to the hospital. So it's safe to say he lost that fight. As they run, Taylor Gray's 8 points above the cut line, and Sammy Smith 8 below. Hill is 12 below, so it looks like Hill's not going to make it. Hill might spin someone just to bring out a caution. Watch out for Austin Hill. They have fallen back to 18th. Sammy Smith running 10th. Sammy Smith kind of has to win, or Taylor Gray has to fall off a ton. So Sammy Smith needs a little help to get in over Taylor Gray. Looks like Taylor Gray might be safe here. As they run, we're gonna have 2 Fords, 2 Toyotas, and 4 Chevys, maybe. Yeah, that's what it looks like currently. All right, this will be the last play of the game for Vanderbilt here if they don't convert. It's 4th and 21, so this game's probably over. I mean, it already is, but technically there was still a shot. Yeah, Quaffle would have to spin gray to get in. But right now, he's running ahead of Taylor Gray, so that's not going to work out. The gap is 7 points. Sammy Smith 7 below. Taylor Gray 7 points above. Nine laps to go. Running 90-second laps, so we're looking at maybe 15-ish minutes until the end of this race if we run green. Do I speak any language? No, I don't speak any languages. Like 0, none. I've never spoken any language ever. The gap is 6 points now. Taylor Gray's falling back slowly. I don't think there's enough time for Smith to point his way in. He would have to climb through the field a few more positions, maybe at least 2. Taylor Gray would have to fall back a couple more positions. Double A says Connor Mozak's having a good run. Yeah, he has. He has. Started up there, and he's kind of run decently throughout the day. That could be, what Corey Day, had going. But he got damage early on and then worked his way back into the top 15 and then got taken out again. So, It's a day of what could have been for Corey Day, and a day of what was for Connor Mozak. So Sam Mayer is a second back from Taylor Gray. So can Sam Mayer close again? He's close. Couple car links back through the chicane. That's one more position he may lose. The 9 car coming down pit road. That's Connor Mozak. We were just talking about it. Now he's on pit road. Fuel pressure issue. That's going to drop everybody one position, or move everybody up one position, I should say. Eric Almirola up into the top 5. Austin Green up there in 3rd currently. How about that? How about that? And Alabama just scored a touchdown. That's something. Well, that game's over. Carson Quaffel's not cutting his teammate any breaks here. Yeah, it looks like Sammy Smith is going to miss the cut line by probably around 6 points. Taylor Gray may lose one more position, and Carson Quaffle may also lose a position here. Jesse Love's cleared Carson Quaffle, and Sammy Smith down pit road. Well, that's it for Sammy Smith. Unless we get a late race caution. This is a wild call, but I mean, I guess it's the gamble they have to make. Oh my goodness. A caution is out. The 53. Oh my goodness. Sammy Smith may have just made the call of the year. Oh my goodness. Things just got interesting. Bob the War Criminal, welcome back. Welcome back, Bob. So Sage Karam cutting down a right front, it looks like. Stopped on the front stretch. He was scored 20th. I don't know if 4 laps is enough, and they're going to restart with less than 4. So I don't think Sammy's going to pass a million cars here. But, I mean, what if we get a bunch of overtime restarts? I mean, it takes a lot to bring out a caution here. So even if people go around, this is insanity. But, I mean, he would have to gain, like, 15 positions on this restart. Jason, welcome. Good to see you, man. Coming in here right at the tail end of this Xfinity race. Bob the War Criminal says he's trying to build a PC. What stage are you in? Are you actually putting it together? Or, you know, what's going on there? Had to fix the chroma key there. You've decided on most of the parts? Yeah, let me know how that goes. Both of my main setups I built myself. Doing a retro style build? Interesting. I would love to do one of those sleeper builds where you get the actual case from an old PC. I'm sure someone probably makes one that looks like it, but that would be really cool. I don't know if it would have the best ventilation. For the GPU thing, RX 580. Interesting. So you're going with AMD? I use NVIDIA. I have the 4070. Yeah. Tomorrow's race, I hope it's a good one. Tyler Reddick got the pole over SVG. You don't need it. Yeah, that's... I mean, yeah, you don't need to overspec your PC if you're not going to use it for too much or anything too demanding. Definitely just go with, you know, what'll work. You already gave me a daily reminder. At this point, it's an hourly reminder. You guys say this, but if I had a kid, I'm sure I would just love it. If I could, like, what's the thing? Mitosis, if I could just spawn a kid. Yeah, you can ... all you want. We have different temperaments. I can put up with a lot more. Bob the War Criminal says he needs to edit some videos, move some files by CSGO. Yeah, CSGO is not the craziest demanding game. Video editing can require some power, so yeah, I mean, but you probably have a decent enough GPU for that. All right, we'll see you, Jason. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, spend some time. And we'll focus up tomorrow for the cup race. A lot of guys coming down pit road. This is going to benefit directly Sammy Smith. This is huge. Let's go. Penn State lost. That's beautiful. Thank you, Jason. Love to see that. Bob the War Criminal says he's going to buy a Dell Workstation PC, toss in a GPU storage RAM, and move it in one of those beige cases. That's pretty sick, Bob. That's pretty sick. Man, I remember when Dell was like top of the top in terms of PCs. And I guess they still make solid enough products. For my work, everyone for their main work computer has a Dell. Either a Dell laptop or a Dell desktop. And our servers mostly are Dell as well. But then for our side use devices, we have some other stuff. Like Microsoft Surfaces and stuff like that. I really like the Surface line. Microsoft makes a solid product. Solid hardware, I should say. Windows 11 has so many issues. So many. I'm not switching. I'm going to the extended support program for Windows 10. All right, as they run, Sammy Smith is in. Carson Quaffle is out. They're tied currently. On fresh tires, if Sammy Smith can move up here, he can pretty much lock himself in. Connor Zilic to the lead. Austin Green second. Is Austin Green willing to wreck Zilic? I don't know if he can even get there. This is madness in the back of the field. Sammy Smith +1, Carson Quaffle -1. Taylor Gray to the cut line. Oh, they're just bouncing back and forth. 07 around. And the 44 piled in. Brennan Poole. This is going to bring out another caution, I think. Sammy Smith to 4th. Taylor Gray dropping through the field. Right now, Sammy Smith and Carson Quaffle in. This is back and forth. This is crazy stuff. Yes, there needs to be a Roval night race. I don't know why the truck race wasn't a night race. Terrible decision. Yes, PS2 ports. That's right. Less input lag. You just got to make sure you have a motherboard that supports PS2 connections. Because most new motherboards do not, unless they're like enthusiast level. All right, it's white flag. We didn't have a caution come out. Wild. As they run, both JRM cars are in. Carson Quaffle 3 points above. Sammy Smith 1 point above. It's a 1 point disadvantage. Taylor Gray has to make something happen here. Caution is out. Race is over. What's the weather for the Cup race? I would assume clear. I haven't heard anything about any weather. Yeah, tomorrow's sunny. So as they run right now, Carson Quaffle getting in 3 points above the cut line. Sammy Smith 1 point above. And Taylor Gray 1 point below the cut line. What a wild end to the race. Junior Motorsports with 4 cars in the final 8. Wow. Wow. What an ending to the race. Sammy Smith with the strategy call of the year, saving his season, finishing 3rd. crazy. Austin Green, great race for him. Great race. They're saying Zilich is taking the win. Austin Green almost stole that one. What a crazy driver. Watch for him. So they're saying Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray are tied. That's not what the standings were showing a second ago. So who's in? We have some drama. Yeah, it was terrible. They should have called the caution faster. They were waiting to see, I guess, if they could refire, but there's no excuse there. We probably should have had another restart. Yeah, they had a couple pretty bad calls throughout the race. Like, it took forever for them to throw the caution for Harrison Burton. That was a bit odd. And then on that last restart, Brennan Poole went around. Brennan Poole got into whoever went around. I forget who it was, but yeah, didn't look like they were gonna refire. Parked in the middle of the track. So some drama here between the 8 and the 54. So what's the tiebreaker? I need someone to clarify this for me. Connor Zilich burning it down again. 10 wins in one season. Absolutely insane year for Connor Zilich. Austin Green, career best second place finish. Great race for Austin Green. Earlier in the race, I was looking. He was running down like towards the 30s. After this, I think we're going to wrap up. I need to go not be here. You know, spend some time with my wife. I may have to go to Walmart as well, get some stuff. All right, who's in? This is what everyone's waiting for. Who got in? Let's see if NASCAR's updated their page. Probably not. They have not updated it yet on NASCAR's website. Come on, who's getting in? Well, Connor Zilich hasn't busted his head yet. No word yet on Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray. Oh, this is crazy stuff. Beautiful looking sunset we have here. Very orange, pink, the blue sky. Give us word who got locked in. Yes, Austin Hill is definitely eliminated. We're not worried about Austin Hill. This is solidly between Gray and Smith. No update yet from NASCAR. Come on. So right now, I mean, they're showing Smith in above Taylor Gray. What's the discussion here? This shouldn't be a drawn out process. Who wins the tiebreaker? And what is the tiebreaker? Why is this a discussion? This is ridiculous. Still waiting here. Tiberium says Smith wins the tiebreaker. I mean, if that's true, then why haven't they announced it yet? You know, like, what's the issue here? I mean, are they not confident in the points that they have tallied up? This is very awkward. Put them both in. Round of 9. Look in Discord. I don't have Discord opened. Discord. Yeah. I mean, I can see that on my screen. I see the picture. I mean, I can see that. That's what they have currently. They're showing gray below the cut line. So what are we debating here? Well, you know, what's the reason for the holdup? I'm guessing NASCAR is just confirming the points, but this is really odd. For playoff seeding, ties are broken by most wins, then most second place finishes, and so on, down to higher finishes. For ties at the playoff cutoff within a round, the tiebreaker is the best finishing position in that round's races, then second best finish, and so forth. Darkside says he forgot about the race. Yeah. Right now, Smith is in and Gray is out. I don't think they've officially announced it yet. That's good. Reminds me of the I'll pull it up. So this is what comes to mind when you say Austin Hill is out of the playoffs. Goodbye, Austin Hill. This is what I see when I think of Austin Hill. Sorry to flashbang you guys with Osama bin Laden. NASCAR doesn't know what they're doing. Either that or they're just stretching to bring in more ratings. I don't know what they're doing. The race finished, looks like 16 minutes after sunset. Sunset in Charlotte was 7:03 Eastern. Yeah, I'm definitely okay with Hill missing out. Good to see a Speedway NZ guy. Good to see you, man. I see you're active on Roblox, doing a lot of Roblox racing. How about that? How about that? I haven't done any NASCAR on Roblox, but I've seen quite a few people play it. So after the caution came out, Taylor Gray went around and passed Jesse Love under caution. Sammy Smith gets the tiebreaker. What's the discussion here? Did the rapture happen? All of NASCAR race control just got sucked into the ether? What happened? NASCAR and their consistent race control. All right. So no longer a tiebreaker. They moved Taylor Gray down one position. Sammy Smith is locked in. So Junior Motorsports has 4 drivers locked into the playoffs. Oh, no, he blatantly passed under caution. The caution came out. They rolled another 200 yards, and then he passed Jesse Love under caution. And that's what got him the tie. Like, Sammy Smith still had the tiebreaker, so I'm not sure what the discussion was about. I mean, was that so hard to, straighten out? That is wild stuff. So Sammy Smith saving his playoffs with that crazy strategy call. I mean, very, very fortunate that worked out his way. All right, ladies and gents. All right. Let's see if we have our points announced yet. No word on the points yet. I just wanted to look at the actual point standings to show you guys. But I mean, as of right now, Zilich is locked in. Allgaier's locked in. I think Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed as well. So we have 4 JRM cars, 2 Fords, and 2 Toyotas, I believe. That's our lineup. So Junior Motorsports has half the playoff field currently going into our round of Vegas, Talladega, and Martinsville. So it should be interesting. So over the next few weeks, we have some wild races, and we'll see if Connor Zilich can add to his win total. Be insane if Zilich missed the playoffs for the next cut line. He would have to have horrible races like dead last. But should be interesting. That'll do it for our Xfinity Charlotte Roval stream. Thank you guys. Dark Side, Speedway, NZ, a dog that likes Cowbush, Tiberium Media Entertainment, Michael Turner, Double A, Buckshot, Bob the War Criminal, Jason Warren, The King is Dead, Jared, Johnson fan, good to see you as well. Reliver 97, I know he's already gone to sleep, but good to have him here as well. Denny Hamlin fan, good to have all of you guys. We'll pick up tomorrow with the Cup race, and then we'll have our post race probably tomorrow as well. So I hope to see you guys then.